sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning, I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick.
Hey, no one but Omertas are allowed to carry guns into Gomorrah. Check your weapons with me.
Tell me quick. Ain't love a kick in the head.
You'll get these back on your way out.
Hello and welcome to Gomorrah. What can I help you with today? I knew someone would call in that mark soon. What do you want to know? All I can tell you is to find Caccino. He's the lowest level lieutenant you're going to be able to talk to. Some of the girls say he's been involved in some shady business the family wouldn't really like. Ask him about it. Bye.
I hear you've been asking questions about me, dickweed. What the fuck do you want? I banged Lot's wife and licked her salty ass. The fuck do I look like? I'm the one asking the questions here. Now tell me why you've been dropping my name before I get some muscle over here and we find a private place to talk. Business? What the fuck do you mean business? You looking to get yourself burned? Now you start talking real clear, and I mean fucking crystal clear, because I'm about to lose my patience. I don't give half a dick what you heard. Now get the fuck out of my face before I burn your sorry ass.
Okay. I'll do my best. Okay. I'll do my best.
You again. What the fuck do you want? Where the fuck did you get that? Okay, listen, buddy. That's some dangerous shit you got there. That book can get me killed if the wrong people see it. Let's talk. What do you want? What can I do for you? I can't stop you, but that's gonna mean my death. I can make it worth your while to give it to me, though. Plus, if you go to the bosses, I can't help you stop what they've been doing. I can pay you for it, of course. I also have some information about the family's business that you might find interesting. Between you and I, we can break up what they're planning, maybe save some lives. Mine included, of course. Oh, here's some caps. Now give me the journal. Right, there we go. So let me tell you what I know about the family's business. The bosses, Big Sal and Nero, have been working for a while on this. They're arming themselves like an army, using this new guy, Troik. They also brought in a specialist named Clandon. At least that's what they introduced him as. I got no fucking idea. They let him have the run of the place, though. He seems like a nice guy, but he makes me nervous. He's a little arrogant, but he's too nice. Too open. I've never seen him fucking or gambling. Everyone has a vice, but this guy seems like the Pope. He's a skittish little fucker. Spends half the day pumping his body full of chems and the other half pumping hookers with his willy. He has some kind of connections, so he's able to smuggle huge shipments of weapons into the Strip. The boss has got him by the short. No, just that it involves guns and muscle. Also that it's big. Very big. Only Nero and Big Saul know everything, and they ain't telling. Okay, you can find me here or upstairs in my room. I'll let the muscle know you're a friend of mine. That should let you get around a little easier.
Got spurs that jingle, I got spurs that jingle, as I go riding merrily.
Hey, nice to meet you. Do you need help with something? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm a close friend of some of the family around here. I do some independent contracting around the casino, and they set me up with this great room. Caccino. Yeah, I've heard the name. Not sure why he'd send you to me. Is he helping out with room service or something?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to me, Mr. New Vegas, and you look extraordinarily beautiful right now. I've got news for you. Scavengers report hulking individuals moving around Hidden Valley after dusk, but have been unable to identify them due to low visibility. Also in the headlines, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. That's the news. This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for Mr. New Vegas. More tracks coming your way right now.
Good to see you again. Hope you're winning some money in here. I think I should kill you before you have a chance to show those tapes to anyone. What do I have to lose? Fuck, I was getting tired of this place anyways. I can find girls to play with somewhere else.
To be just everything to be my own true love. If this is a dream, let me keep on dreaming.
I hear you chased that chicken shit Benny off. Good riddance.
Until the moment we met, I had
Who are you? I didn't do anything. Leave me alone.
to be just everything to
Oh, man. I don't even like to think about it. All that goddamn blood. It was just in the hotel like any other night. I took some chems with the girl I was with, but I never black out. I did this time, though. Next thing I knew, I woke up, she was lying next to me, stabbed dead. There was a knife next to the bed, and I was covered in her blood. You'd do that for me? I'm not sure what can be done, but you'd be doing me a solid if you would. I've been talking to Big Saul mostly. You again. Make it quick. I don't see how that's your business. Cachino? Cachino what? Are you kidding me? He must be trying to get me killed. Yeah? Well, fuck that. The bosses have my number and I'm a company man while they got the goods on me.
The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
More power to you if you...
It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip.
I tell you, not at home is gonna have his day.
In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red.
Hey, you're Cachino's friend. You got business with me?
Wasn't long before the story was relayed.
Troy. What you want, some more jet? A fresh batch of girls? Maybe a guy or two this time. Why would I want to do that? Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Okay, tell Troik he can hit the road. All right, come back anytime.
It was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them where they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red is not cleared leather for a bullet fairly red.
I hear you chased that chicken shit Benny off. Good riddance.
Big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round.
You again. Holy shit. Really? Okay, I'll help you. But I'm getting the hell out of here first chance I get. They're keeping them in a little utility section down off the basement. I don't know what they're arming themselves for, but I know it isn't for the good of mankind. I'm pretty proud of myself. It's a stroke of genius if I could be so modest. The whole arrangement starts with an old buddy of mine in the Republic. He's responsible for packing and shipping supplies to the NCR on the Strip. He marks some containers as food and medical and packs them with guns and other shit. From there, it took just a couple of greased palms to get someone to let me cherry pick a container or two out of every shipment. Easy as pie. As a little pet project, I've been making some thermite. Thermite burns as hot as the devil's asshole and can melt through just about anything. I've been keeping it so if the family betrays me, I can hopefully do some damage before I end up dead or in jail. Okay, here's the thermite and a key to the room where the guns are stored. Place the thermite on the crates in the room. I rigged the light switch outside the room to kick off a spark big enough to hold the thermite. That should turn that shit into molten slag. As soon as we're done talking, I'm gonna make myself like a ghost. I don't want to... Okay, cool.
Don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long will fight, 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 fight it with all of our might? Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back to the Mr. New Vegas show. The show with, in my opinion, which I respect, the best looking audience around. Somebody prove me wrong? Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. A Legion slaver party was wiped out in a failed raid of the Bitter Springs refugee camp, with 2 armed civilians inflicting heavy Legion casualties. One witness said, quote, God sent us 2 angels, and at least one had him a .308 caliber flaming sword of justice with a telescopic sight. In addition, the NCR flag has been hoisted over former Legion outpost Nelson after heavy fighting. NCR officials are calling this a big win for troop morale. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. In New Vegas, we know the pain that numbers can bring us. Well, so does Guy Mitchell, who's got heartaches by the number.
There's some serious shit going on between NCR and the Legion. Better not fuck with our power. Hey, what can I do for you? Hey, what can I do for you? Whoa, you managed to pull that off? Solid work. That ought to gum up the boss's plans. Oh, is that right? Well, I guess if he's gone, he's gone. I don't need to know anything more than that. Now we cut off the head of the serpent. Big Saul and Nero have to die. As long as they're alive, they can start up their plans again. All you've managed to do is stall them. I guarantee you they have contingencies. They're a little bit upset about what's been done to muck up their plans. They tasked me to find out who's responsible. There isn't gonna be another chance to get both of them together in the same room. I'll slip you a gun, and we can take them out. When they're gone, I'm gonna run this joint. Don't worry, I'll take care of this place. Hurry and get ready.
I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. More news for you. According to a new report, violent crime is on a sharp decline in New Vegas. The report credits the decline of the population of fiends in the area. In possibly related news,
here's
local
that gun
hemp
up
dealers
front.
report an overall
I
decrease
suggest using
in
it
their
while they
standard
are
of living.
talking.
Let's have
Pretty
some
soon, more
words.
story for you.
Take a seat on the couch.
Listeners
so
have
we
been
can get
unable to pick
talking.
up radio
Take a seat on the
broadcasts
couch,
from Black
please,
Mountain
so we can have a
recently.
little talking time.
Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement.
So I assume you know why we called you
Brought to
here.
you by Vault 21. Vault 21.
Well, you've been a real thorn in our side. We've got business plans. You set us back a little bit, I'll admit that.
I'd like to play one of my...
However, we wanted you to know that nothing you did made a shit bit of difference, and you're going to die of failure. Are you shitting me? You didn't even know what the plan was. Yeah. As a last request, I guess we can give you that courtesy. The fuck? I knew there had to be someone higher up helping you. Nero, you backstabbing, two-timing motherfucker. I knew this day would come.
This is hopeless! Hey, thanks for all the hard work back there. I'm gonna run a tight ship here, don't you worry. Of course, after all you did for me, here are some chips for you. Play, have some fun. Cons finally got what they had coming. Glad we won't have to worry about them. Things are good since Kachino took over.
I know it's stupid to be mad. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. On silver screen, melt every single scene. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of sad about the
Don't be carrying any guns into the casino.
I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of her first affair. Will it ever claw this odd diversity of misery and
Welcome back. What can I do for you this time?
I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm glad about
This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. Coming right up. A package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on. In addition, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. The Legate took over an underperforming squad of
Nelson's
troops
back in our
by
hands.
beating its
Hope we can
commander to death in full view of everyone. The Legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10.
Bend it this time.
And you thought your boss was a pig.
Have you discovered what the Omertas are up?
Was brought to you by Gamora.
Excellent. You'd think living in the lap of luxury and power would be enough for some people, but no. But we have other problems. While investigating the Omertas, what little I could on my end, I came across something much more sinister. Evidence suggests that Mr. House is planning to make some kind of move when the battle breaks out, and I'm guessing he won't be coming to our rescue. While we don't know what his exact plans are, my orders are to take no risks. I'm sending you to take Mr. House out of the equation. Any questions? To name a few things off the top of my head, expand his borders, get the NCR and Legion to wipe each other out, and seize Hoover Dam. Any other questions? We've had reported sightings of Mr. House's Securitron spying on both NCR and Legion forces. Also, given a recent analysis of the sightings, we now estimate that Mr. House has at least 4 times as many Securitrons as previously assumed. He wouldn't show his hand like that if he weren't prepared to move, and neither the NCR or Legion can spare the troops to investigate, which is why I'm sending you. Any other questions? Perhaps, but that's not my problem. Vegas is a nice place for the men to go on vacation, but it'd be an acceptable loss next to the dam. Good, then you have your orders. See that Mr. House does not present a problem. Dismissed.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Love me. Don't ever let me go.
Listening to me, Mr. New Vegas, and you look extraordinarily beautiful right now.
Welcome, sir or madam.
Latest news coming your way right now. This crisis between the NCR and their great cons was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostages' release. In addition, rumors have surfaced that Top's hotel owner Benny has taken yet another unexpected leave of absence. We spoke to his right-hand man, Swank.
Do I seem worried to you, baby? Sometimes a cat just needs room to swing. He'll be back. Sure as a conga drum's got a groovy beat.
Today's headlines were brought to you by Prim. Prim, the other New Vegas. Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep down, you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
Play the guitar
but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny.
Just as a warning, my covert bandaging skills are a little rusty.
Thank you for visiting New Vegas.
Johnny Guitar. But if you stay, I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny.
Be advised, visitors will be held responsible for the behavior of any robots following you.
Like the one they call Johnny
Confirm entering combat.
It's me again, Mr. New Vegas, reminding you that you're nobody till somebody loves you, and that somebody is me. I love you. And now the news. The Legion slaver party was wiped out in a failed raid of the Bitter Springs refugee camp, with 2 armed civilians inflicting heavy Legion casualties. One witness said, quote, God sent us 2 angels, and at least one had him a .308 caliber flaming sword of justice with a telescopic sight. Also in the headlines, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Those were our top stories. More music just ahead.
Why have you done this? Centuries of preparation. So much good undone. If personal gain, what you sought, should have done as asked. No! Don't disable Cerebral! I'd rather be killed. Just kill me.
What do you have to report about the Omertas? There's a job.
Enjoy your time.
Lead them. What's up?
Hey.
Report. Is Mr. House still a threat? But he's still alive? I'll have to remember to send someone to follow up on that later. Anyway, at least he's out of the picture for the time being. You might be happy to know that your efforts haven't gone unnoticed either. The brass have been throwing around the idea of having the president visit the dam for a while now, to rally the troops and boost morale and such. With our recent achievements, they finally feel secure enough to stage the damn thing. But while it's being planned, I have one last mission for you. Several years ago, we managed to wrest the Helios 1 solar power station from the Brotherhood of Steel chapter local to this area. It was a crushing victory, but no one's heard a peep from the Brotherhood since. Most people assume the Brotherhood is scattered and not a threat. Recently, we've had scouts go missing in an area west of Helios, and I'm concerned that the Brotherhood is involved. I want you to find them, and once you do, finish them for good. Any questions? Don't even think about it. Any Brotherhood survivors likely harbor a deep grudge against us. We can't afford to leave such an enemy alive. Any other objections? Maybe you'd like to bring the Brotherhood some flowers. A fair question, and one I've had our strategists think about for some time. Their consensus is that we must focus on the one thing we can count on. With the Brotherhood, that's their obsessive attachment to technology. They'd never go anywhere that didn't have working power. I'm willing to bet that wherever they're hiding, there's a working reactor powering their equipment. That's their vulnerability. Detonate that reactor, and we can safely cross the Brotherhood off our list of concerns. Is there anything else? After the battle, we consolidated our hold on the plant before pursuing our enemies. It was a mistake, to be sure, but there wasn't really any place for them to go. When we finally gave chase, however, they had simply vanished. Some of our people think they had some means of conveyance, like the vertibirds the Enclave used, and hightailed it out of here. I think that they found someplace to hide close to Helios, and never went that far at all. Any other questions? Dismissed.
Hey.
I need to talk to you about something, if you have a minute.
Any day now? Caesar's going to try to march across Hoover Dam and kick NCR out of the Mojave.
We're getting caught up in something important out here. Hell, after how you handled Benny, you're practically right in the middle of all this. I know I'm just along for the ride, but it's made me think about the past and how I might be able to help out. I wasn't always with the followers, or with the NCR. My late father was an officer in a group called the Enclave, a remnant of America's pre-war government. Memories being short around here, not a whole lot of people remember them. But they did bad things. Terrorized communities, kidnapped people. Eventually someone stopped them. I was born a few years later at a military base on the coast, a place called Navarro. A lot of different places. I only know what I was told. Some of them were cut down by the NCR and the Brotherhood. Some of them went east. My mother never told me what happened to my father, but she and I went south with some others and integrated into the NCR. When the NCR learned that Enclave personnel had integrated, they kept moving to the fringes. It's one of the reasons why I wound up out here. After the Enclave's command structure fell apart, it was only a matter of time before Navarro was overrun by NCR forces. My mother and I left with some of the troopers from my father's old unit, the same people I've kept in contact with over the years. Anyone who didn't get out was killed by the NCR. Even some of the ones who escaped were eventually hunted down by the Brotherhood of Steel. The Enclave did a lot of bad things, but there were good people at Navarro. Good people with a lot of experience. Not many of them are alive anymore, but I think they can make a difference in the fight against Caesar. That's a hard question to answer. I know I don't want the Legion to take Hoover Dam. So militarily, yes, I want them to help NCR. If possible, I'd like to figure out a way to help the NCR win Hoover Dam without holding New Vegas. Great. I'd like you to talk to the old-timers, the remnants. I don't think I could convince them by myself. To them, I'm still a kid. But you're a big part of what's happening out here. When you talk to them, they'll understand how important this all is. I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me. Thanks.
Morning.
Welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. It's just about time to get you some news. The influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. One more story for you. Scavengers report hulking individuals moving around Hidden Valley after dusk, but have been unable to identify them due to low visibility. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky and Vance Casino. Vicky and Vance, be our partners in crime. Hey, New Vegas, have you ever said you love someone when it wasn't quite true? Sure you have, but you shouldn't, because it's a sin to tell a lie.
It's a sin. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you, yes I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell
folks hard. Just over a whole lot of this world. That's been
Greetings, my friend. I hope...
I love you. Yes, I do.
I suppose it was only a matter of time. I wonder if, given the NCR's current situation, they would consider a truce of sorts. We've given up our claim to Helios, and we don't have any interest in claiming Hoover Dam, so our ambitions are not at crossed purposes. Perhaps it's time for a new strategy. Go to the NCR commander and tell her the Brotherhood is willing to put aside our enmity for the time being. Further, tell her that we are willing to send troops to aid in their coming defense of the dam. My guess is they're in no position to refuse.
You know, I tried to measure my charisma on a Vitomatic vigor tester once. The machine burst into flames. We've got some news for you coming right up. Merchants are saying that there's been little contact between traders from Nipton in recent days, causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. Also in the headlines, listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static quote a welcome improvement. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. Got some Dean Martin coming up, talking about the greatest feeling in the world, love. Ain't that a kick in the head? Sure is. Dino, it sure is.
I kissed her, she kissed me. Fella once said, ain't kicking the head. The room was completely black. She hugged back, like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful as sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't another kick in the head. Said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a kid's bed. I couldn't feel any
The cure is finally coming to make the forces stop.
Tell me quick. Oh, ain't love a kick. Tell me quick. Ain't love a kick.
Is there something else I can do for you? I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it.
We've got some news for you coming right up. Rumors continue to swell that Mr. House, the father of New Vegas, has passed away. Who will fill the power?
Doc Henry always was a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans or dogs. He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea.
Paid for by the
The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed.
Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now, come on, you don't have to be shy.
Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world. Maybe it's enough just to do good for the short time that we're here. No one's going to sing Doc Henry's praises when he's gone, but he's probably saved more lives than I ever will.
I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I had about the boy. On silver screen, he melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy.
They say those robots on the strip are running around with different faces or something. Don't ask, because I don't know.
Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl.
Sticking around for the attractions? Hello, Arcade. Making some new friends, are you? Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us?
This odd diversity.
Swooping in on a vertibird, guns blazing? Haven't done that in years, but all right, I'm in. None of this means a thing if the rest of the group doesn't show up, though. Oh, and you'll need my part of the passphrase to get into the bunker. Navarro. I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro. Nobody left except us remnants. Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region. I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary. Uh-huh.
Force be killed by the other 9/10.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years, and with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him. Oh, I know. I was only a boy when they went through hell together. I'm glad you're helping me reunite them. Even if I'm still just a spectator in all of this, I know they can still do some good.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip.
Looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving. Been a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries? Is that right? The million-dollar question is, who exactly are we settling? I wouldn't mind cutting down a few platoons of NCR troopers with my old Gatling laser.
And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red is not clear to let
Oh, I'll come. But depending on the plan, I might not be staying. Keep that in mind. Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is remember.
It was over in a moment.
Heavy weapons trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero.
Moreno took the fall of the Enclave hard. He never questioned his orders, never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left. It's been decades, you know. By now, he's been out of the Enclave longer than he was in. Most people know when to hang it up and start over. But not Moreno.
Well, it's about damn time. What took you? Oh. I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now. Thought I recognized the fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about then? Well, now there's an interesting idea. Do a bit of good before we're all dead and forgotten. You can count me in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is bold. Appropriate, huh?
If I had to pick anyone who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew. I grew up without him. I'll always feel like something is missing from my life, but you're right. It's not like I'm the only kid in the wasteland who's grown up without a dad. Johnson always said my father was a good man. If that's the only thing about me that's like him, that's enough for me.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. Cause you got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie of a lie. Whole lot of folks' heart has done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words that's been spoken.
I love you. Yes, I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you.
Howdy, folks. It's Mr. New Vegas, and I have a good feeling about all of you listening. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. Also in the headlines, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Take classy, New Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
What can I do for you? All right.
said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
Mad about the boy. I know it's stupid to
The
be
NC.
mad.
Your travel's been going all right? Told you everything about us, did he? Well, it's been a while since I've had my hands on the controls of a vertibird. There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly, count me in. I'll be there. My part of the passphrase is dear. I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then. Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sins, anyhow. Watch your six out there.
What's up? Since my mother died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too. She flew him out on over a dozen missions, including his last. I've always been close to Daisy. There have been some good men along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. It broke her heart to be grounded. Not much glory in the Enclave. Most of her old comrades are long gone. I know life as a salvager can't compare to being a vertibird pilot, but at least it's a life. That has to count for something.
I know it's stupid to be mad about.
This is Mr. New Vegas fanning the flames of your passion. All the latest news coming your way right now. A big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records on a combat readiness evaluation at Camp Golf. Go get 'em, guys. other news, Prim formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
Prim, the NCR wishes to inform you that you are under their jurisdiction now. And from now on, you're gonna be living by our rules.
We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. More tracks coming your way right now.
As I go right merrily along, and they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell,
What are you talking to me for? Talk to Krieger.
That tower on the strip, the one you can see for miles, I hear it ain't sealed up no more.
Glad to see you made it here all right. So, who are we going up against? Then that's the plan. We're gonna have a problem with Moreno, though. He won't like that we're helping the NCR. You'll have to talk to him. You've got only one chance at this. I know Moreno. Once he's made up his mind about something, there's no changing it.
Prim wimped out and accepted.
I didn't come all the way out here just so we could save the fucking NCR. I'm out. I can't believe you've actually talked me into this. Fine, I'm in. But don't expect me to hold my fire if any NCR troops get in the way.
Thanks for doing this. Getting them all back together again. I'll be honest, when Moreno started going off, I didn't think we'd all be walking out of there in one piece. I still don't know how this is all gonna shake out in the end, but at least the Enclave can atone a bit for all the damage it's done. I've been wondering about Daisy and the others for so long, I still haven't figured out what I should do. I mean, I'm not like them. I was born at Navarro and my father served with them, but I wasn't really part of the Enclave. It seems presumptuous of me to think I could join the fight, even if this is a cause worth fighting for. Because I know when fighting breaks out at the dam, all hell is going to break loose in Freeside. They're going to need every doctor they can get. I figured you'd say that. Sometimes staying put is the best thing you can do. I'll leave the fighting to the old war horses. It's what they were made for. I need to go take care of something before I set up at Freeside. I'll see you soon. And again, thanks for your help with the others.
Moreno's a stubborn son of a bitch, but he's also tougher than any of us. I'm glad you were able to talk him into staying. Since Whitman will be staying with the Vertibird, she's offered to give her old suit of power armor to you. You'll need special training to use it properly, so talk to her as soon as you get the chance. The training might take several hours, so keep that in mind.
Prim wimped out.
I appreciate you keeping Orion in the group. Since I won't be needing my armor, makes the cockpit a bit cramped, you should take it. It'll take a few hours to show you how to use it properly, so let's get started.
What an accepted NCR rule. Some people will do anything to feel safe.
Like I said, I needed to go do something. This is it. It belonged to my father. I thought I might wear it at Hoover Dam, but after you talked me out of it, I didn't see the point in hanging on to it any longer. I'm here because of you, so I figure you're the one most deserving of it. It should protect you from everything short of a plasma caster. And if you need anything at all, you know where to find me. It's the least I could do. All I ask is that you put it to good use. This place has lived in the shadow of Caesar for long enough. I may not be the one to help stop him here, but you are. Fortis fortuna adiuvat. Good luck. And goodbye.
Is it time? I'm ready when you are.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight. And I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. We've got some news for you coming right up. Rumors continue to swell that Mr. House, the father of New Vegas, has passed away. Who will fill the power vacuum on the strip remains uncertain. One more story for you. Word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. Stay classy, New Vegas. And now, Nat King Cole reminding us what really matters with Love Me as though there were no tomorrow. Because in New Vegas, hey, you never know.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Come on!
I give up. Oh no.
So when I our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go.
Can't punch through.
Unable to identify them due to low visibility. Moving on. A big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records on a combat readiness evaluation at Camp Golf. Go get 'em, guys. Promotional consideration for this new program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the left. Play a song for you right now. It's about that special someone you find only once in a blue moon.
Blue moon, you saw me stand please adore me. And when I look, the moon has turned.
Business. You take it. Retron. Like that. Hardly even know how to fight.
Somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon.
Degenerate.
Letting you know, I've got a new Christmas compilation coming out soon. Nuclear Winter Wonderland. Look for it. And now, a big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records on a combat readiness evaluation at Camp Golf. Go get 'em, guys. Moving on. Rumors continue to swell that Mr. House, the father of New Vegas, has passed away. Who will fill the power vacuum on the Strip remains.
I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
me, Mr. New Vegas, and you look extraordinarily beautiful right now. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement. Moving on. A big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records on a combat readiness evaluation at Camp Golf. Go get 'em, guys. You know, I think all goes, whether it's good or bad, brings us closer together. Don't you?
Thumbs down.
Got some Dean Martin coming up. Talking about the greatest feeling in the world. Ain't that a kick to the head? Sure is, Dino. Sure is.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kid? Now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream of my own. Without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone.
Thumbs
Hey folks, it's Mr. New Vegas, and I have a good feeling about all of you listening. Well, you know what that means, folks. Several unidentified aircraft were spotted flying over the RepCon air site by a local crack line. Each spoke to a Tony beer near one of our microphones. It's gold, I tell you. Religious ghouls in Rutgers looking for a land to call their own. Don't you laugh at me. I know a spell that'll make you show your true form. Cave Rat taught it to me. Also, a Legion slaver party was wiped out in a failed raid of the Better Springs refugee camp, with 2 armed civilians inflicting heavy Legion casualties. One witness said, quote, God sent us 2 angels, and at least one had him a .308 caliber flaming sword of justice with a telescopic sight. These announcements were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. I'd like to play something really special for you right now because you deserve it.
Let's get out of this first. Yeah. Caesar's dead. Bet he didn't see this coming when he was having his coffee this morning. Still, it's not gonna stop the Legion. It might not even slow them down. Yeah. That was some kind of stunt we pulled. Whatever happens from here on out, we killed that prick in the middle of his fortress. Ought to give the rest of them something to think about. Yeah.
Sleep, go to sleep. Just lay down your weary about tomorrow instead? Sweet gold.
All mine.
Swinging with the man in the moon. Why don't you go? Take it slow. And don't you know? All your lovely dreams will come true. So just close your eyes. Listen to a sweet lullaby. Sleep softly, sleep, and let the world go by.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her, she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black.
Hello. If you're here to sell something, we don't want any. No problem. Hey, do me a favor when you get back to Reyes and tell her that we don't need any more damn ammo. Wouldn't mind more water, though. You think I haven't tried? Every time I do, Camp Golf acknowledges the situation. And soon after that, more ammo. We're not gonna die of thirst anytime soon, but I'd rather have too much than not enough.
It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like this fella said, quote, ain't that a hole in a bowl? My head keeps spinning.
You're here for the money. I told the Emeritus I was good for it. I just need more time. Oh, well, yeah. I can do that. Thanks.
We'll be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed.
I don't want to talk about it. We were on patrol near the dam when a Legion raiding party jumped us. Didn't even have time to radio it in. I was hit in the head with a machete and knocked out. Didn't kill me, though some nights I wish it had. When I woke up, my nerve was gone. The rest of my squad was crucified, butchered, mutilated. I don't know how they missed me. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they knew they'd broken me. I gambled and drank a lot after that. Got into trouble. But the Rangers gave me a second chance instead of kicking me out. So here I am. Maybe. But thanks for saying it anyway.
Also in the headlines, rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. These headlines were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. Nat King Cole reminding us what really matters with Love Me As Though There Were No Tomorrow. Because in New Vegas, hey, you never know.
as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Get some!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
What an asshole.
The King's Gang in Freeside has put an official end to the hostilities with the NCR. An RNV reporter was on hand to speak with the King.
I feel so bad. I think it's time we reconsider, baby.
Also in the headlines, a big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records on a combat readiness evaluation at Camp Golf. Go get them, guys. Those were our top stories. Hey, New Vegas, have you ever said you love someone when it wasn't quite true? Sure you have, but you shouldn't, because it's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because it is out of our street. I love, yes I do. I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. 'Cause you got sense enough to know it's a sin to tend. Whole lot of folks are done been broken.
when you say I love you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. It's just about time to get you some news. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. Moving on. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lannius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pig. Boy, the Mojave Wasteland is just a fascinating place, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next. More music just ahead.
To the town of our Frio rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip.
Take him out.
Big iron on his hip. When the morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew there was 40 people to make the play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped, and the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.